Hi, good people. You are welcome to my pt2. We are going to continue with our series on conflict resolution in marriage. As we started last week, we are just going to continue the part 2. I am your Counsellor JK. Once again, welcome to my pt2. By way of flashing back, we stated that in simple terms, conflict is a serious disagreement. And then we also said that when two people are incompatible, we can say that they are in conflict. And then if two parties or two people clash, we can also term that as conflict. And we say that as human beings as we are, conflict will one way or the other be part of our lives. And we also say that there are some good things about conflict. There are some good aspects of conflict. One being a female and the other being a male, there is a conflict situation. Two partners, one wanted to eat rice, other wants to eat kinky, conflict sets in. So in our everyday life, we encounter some sort of conflicts with our partners or with our spouses. But the question is, how do you solve these conflicts so that it will not escalate to something else? It will not get to a time or a point where there will be confusion, there will be breakups, there will be serious misunderstanding among or between the couples. And we say that there are 3 stages of conflict. We say that there is the emergence stage or the beginning stage where the misunderstanding actually starts, where the sort of, if you like, confusion starts. That's where I like sleeping with the light on, I like sleeping with the light off comes in. And then the second stage is the escalation stage. That is where there is crisis, or we call that stage as crisis stage. That's where emotions and feelings are involved. That's where feelings are hurt. That's where confusion has set in. That's where tempers are high. That's where probably there's fights, there's quarrel, there's chaos, things are being mishandled, for lack of and then we say that the third stage is the cessation stage, or where there has been a resolution to it. And we say that for these 3 stages, emergence, escalation, and cessation stage, it will be advisable, it will be good, it will be prudent that we don't get to that stage at all. As soon as you see conflict trying to emerge or conflict you see red signs or you see red flags, you should be able to solve it. You should be able to understand each other. You should let go of our pride. We should let go of our own desires for peace to prevail. So we said that we should not even get to that stage. And conflict, as we also said last week, how does it come? And we said that it may come through 3 different directions or through 3 different areas. And we said that the first challenge or the first way that conflict comes is caused by the couples themselves. It's caused by the partners themselves. The second stage is caused by a third party, somebody else. And then the third stage is caused by circumstances beyond the control of the couples or of the partners. And last week we looked at the challenges or the conflicts which come as a result of the couples themselves. And then we stated that unloving husband behaviors can also bring conflict. Unsubmissive wives also can bring about conflict. Wrong or too high expectations in the marriage also can bring about conflict. And then we also stated that boredom also can bring conflict. We mentioned a lot of things that bring conflict into our relationship. We mentioned personal hygiene, not helping at home, taking your partner for granted, inadequate communication or inappropriate communication, quick-temperedness, frigidity, no response to partner, nagging partners, sanctions, fear, lack of confidence, lack of forgiveness, lack of time or no time for each of the partners. All these things we said last week that they can bring conflict. And all these things are the doings of the partners involved or of the couples themselves. Now today let's look at the second. So we say that the second cause or second channel through which conflicts may come, and we say that that is caused by a third. So the conflict that may come as a result of a third party involvement, which is caused by someone else. You can have friends can also cause conflict in our marriages or in our relationships. There are some friends, they always want you to be with them. They always want you to go out and watch soccer. They always want you to be in their houses for conversation. And by the time that your husband comes home, you will not be at home. Friends may pollute you. Friends may ask you or tell you to do some sort of things that your partners may not like. And that can bring about conflict. So friends are also a source that bring conflict in our relationship. I'm talking about the third parties that can bring conflict in our marriage or in our relationships. Then our relatives. Some people are tied to the aprons of their mothers and their fathers that they cannot concentrate on their marriages. When it happens so, and all your allegiance is to your father or to your mother, and you are not having time for your partner, obviously your partner will not be happy and conflict may set in. So as you have married, Bible even said that a man will leave the father and mother and will be joined together with a wife, and they will become one body. And in the same way, the woman also leaves and joins together with the husband. So since you are married, you shouldn't be taking instructions or directions from your parents, from your relative, as how to run your marriage. If it happens so, the other party, the other partner will not be happy and conflict sets in. So the other relatives, the in-laws, the brothers, the sisters, especially the sisters-in-laws, they sometimes knows our relationship, which may not be happy. Especially the women are the other losing end, that they will not be happy. And this will bring conflict or misunderstanding. And then directly, as I said, the in-laws. If let's say a man marries and the family members of the woman always come to the house, always want to eat from the house, always want their daughter to do something for them, always want to take money from their daughter. If it happens so, it can be the other round. The man is married, but all the time the sisters will come and ask the man to sort of pay the school fees of their children, to take care of their homes and all those things. So when the in-laws set in, it doesn't help. It brings about conflict. So relatives and in-laws, they also cause conflict for us in our marriages. So whilst you are married, you must know how to handle them. Let your relative know that is the same relative that tends to be the in-laws. So the man's relative is the in-laws of the woman. The woman's relatives are the in-laws of the man. So if we let our relative know that we are in our marriage, they should let us run our own affairs. If it's necessary and we need help, we can fall on them. But now that we have not come to them, they should leave us alone. So if you are listening to me and you are trying to direct your brother or your sister how to marry, please let them run their own marriage unless they ask of your opinion. Otherwise, leave them. So this relative and this in-laws also can bring conflict. Some of the in-laws, they demand too much. Some of the relatives, they will come and demand, buy this for me, do this for me, do this, do that. And it doesn't make the other partner happy. And then it will bring about conflict in the marriage. And then sometimes the Christians, the church members, I'm going to visit brother this, I'm going to visit sister this, and the lady may not even have time to cook for the husband. The man may not even have time for the family all the time. Yes, it is good to do the church work, but you cannot neglect your home. You cannot neglect your wife. You cannot neglect your husband. Sometimes you see women in women's fellowship and those things, they would rather go to serve the minister, the pastor. They will prefer working in the mission house. They will prefer working at the chapel. So we continue. The other one may be colleagues at work. Your colleagues at work, your fellow workers. Some of them are nuisance in our marriage. So as you are married, you should know how to balance your work as your job, and then how to take care of your home. Some of them, they close from work. Instead of they going home, they rather come to your house seeking for something to eat. They'll bring home the things that are supposed to have been discussed at workplace home, depriving the man or the woman from the family. And it doesn't help. It brings about conflict between the couples. And the neighbors, there are some troublesome neighbors who are always nosing around. All these neighbors also can bring conflict into your marriage. And then house helps. They sometimes bring confusion. They sometimes bring conflict between the couples. So if you're a Christian, if you're a believer, and it's very, very necessary to have a house help, you must pray and you search diligently to get somebody who will not give you headache, to get somebody who will not give you troubles. Some of the house helps are troublesome, and if you don't take care, they will ruin your marriage. They will break your marriage. So you open your eyes. And the women, when it's very necessary for you to get a house help, and it happens to be a female, do not leave your core duties for her to perform. Housemaids are not supposed to cook for your husband. They are not supposed to set your bed for your husband. They are not supposed to be washing your husband's underwears and those things. You must do it yourself. It is your responsibility. If you check your responsibility and you sublet it to the house help or the maid at home, if you don't take care, she is going to be the second madam in the house. And if you don't take care, before you say Jack, things had gone wrong. So if it's not necessary, if you can handle it, if your job is not so demanding that you can handle your home, why just try and handle it yourself. Otherwise, sometimes some of these house helps, they can set confusion in your home, and then there can be conflict in your home. And then your children can also bring conflict among the partners or the couples. Sometimes some of the children have adopted some sort of behaviors. Some of the children are so selfish. Some of them, they may lie, they may not do their homework. And when you say this, they'll say daddy say that. When you say that, they say mommy say that. And if you don't take care and you're not diligent, the children can set confusion. The children can cause conflict amongst you. Sometimes a child will go to mommy and then ask mommy to do something. Meanwhile, daddy is not aware. By the time, probably daddy had already told them not to do it, and the mommy will give go ahead. If you don't confer with each other, if you don't discuss the activity at home together, the children may cause confusion for you, and there will be conflict in your hand or at hand that you may not be able to handle. So, these are some of the things that may cause by a third party that will bring conflict in our relationship or in our home. We'll end it here. The next time we'll meet, we'll look at the other one that is caused by circumstances which cannot be controlled by any of them. The first one, which is caused by the partners themselves, and the second one, which is caused by a third party. Yes, we can control it. We can handle it. But the next day, we'll look at the third one, which is caused by the circumstances beyond our control. Thank you once again for watching my pt2. I have been your counselor, JK. Thank you for listening. Bye-bye.